I am Reed. I am 27, just an average dude. I made tons of money mistakes in my 20s, and now I want to share everything I've learned to help you take control of your finances and your life. Man, I hear you. I really do, that feeling of being trapped. Like your mind is just this tiny little box and you can TC a way out. You wake up, check your phone, walk the dog, commute to a job you kind of hate, talk to people. You don't too really care about commute home, argue with your partner or your roommate or just the silence of your apartment. Watch something mindless on Netflix, pass out, and then do it all over again. And you feel it right, that deep sinking feeling that something is missing, but you don't know what it is. You think maybe it S money, you think if you just had a little more you could breathe, or maybe it S the job if you could just quit and start that dream business, or maybe it S the relationship. If you just found the right person, everything would click, but you had money before and you just spent it, you had days off and you just wasted them scrolling, something deeper is broken. And I think the problem is a lot simpler and a lot harder to swallow than most people want to admit. You don't know what you want because you were never taught how to figure it out. I was the same way at 22. I was broke. I mean, really broke. I had a credit card that I maxed out buying clothes and dinners I couldn't afford. I had a car payment I was drowning in, I was living paycheck to paycheck, and the worst part was I thought I was doing fine because everyone else my age was doing the exact same thing. We were all drinking the same cool, go to school, get the degree, get the job, spend the money you don't have, complain about it, do it again. We were all lost together, so we thought that was just what life was. But then I hit a wall, man. I woke up one day and I just realized that if I kept going the way I was going to be 35. Still broke, still miserable, and still wondering why I was happy. And that scared the crap out of me. That was my rock bottom. Not some massive bankruptcy, not losing my house. Just a quiet Tuesday morning where I finally saw the path I was on for what it really was, a dead end. And that is where you have to start. You have to get absolutely fed up with where you are. You have to stop making excuses. You have to look at your life, the stupid spending, the lazy habits, the dead-end friendships, the job you hate, and you have to say enough is enough. You have to get mad about it, not sad mad, because sadness makes you passive. Anger gives you energy to move. I spent a whole week just letting myself be disgusted with my situation. I wrote down everything I did not want in my life. I did not want to be broke. I did not want to be in debt. I did not want to wake up feeling like a loser. I did not want to work for a boss I didn't respect, for a company that didn't care about me. I did not want to be average. I let that feeling of disgust wash over me and I used it as fuel. And then I did something that felt crazy. I stopped looking for the one right answer. You see, we have this idea that there is one perfect path, one true calling, one thing we are meant to do, and if we just find that thing, everything will be okay. But that is a lie that keeps you stuck, because while you are searching for the perfect path, you are not walking any path at all. The truth is, you figure out what you want by moving, not by thinking, by making mistakes, by trying something and seeing if it feels right or wrong. The greatest skill you can ever learn is the ability to figure it out, not to be an expert in one thing, not to have a perfect degree, but to look at any situation, any problem, any new challenge and say, I can figure this out. That is true freedom, and that is what we lose when we specialize too early. We are told to be specialists, pick one thing, become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. Focus on that one skill, get that one job, and sure, you can make a good living doing that, but you also become dependent on that thing. If the economy changes, if your industry gets automated, if you get laid off, you are screwed because you only know one thing. I look at the most interesting people I know, the most successful people my age, and they are not hyper-specialized robots. They are generalists. They know a little bit about a lot of things. They can write, they can sell, they understand basic finance, they know how to talk to people. They learn new software quickly, they can adapt. That is the skill that matters, being able to figure it out. When I was 23, I decided to start trying things. I started a little side hustle selling stuff online. I failed, lost a few $100, but I learned about inventory and shipping and customer service. Then I tried freelancing. I was terrible at it, but I learned how to pitch and how to communicate with clients. Then I started this little YouTube channel just talking about money. It was awkward and cringe and nobody watched it for months, but I learned how to tell a story and how to edit video. None of those things were my passion. None of them were my destiny. They were experiments. And every mistake I made taught me something that helped me get a little bit closer to where I am today. That is how you figure it out. You do things, you make mistakes, and you pay attention to what the mistakes are telling you. I think a lot of us are afraid to make mistakes because we were punished for them in school. In school, you get a wrong answer, you get a bad grade, you get in trouble. So we learn to play it safe. We learn to only do things we know we can succeed at. We stop exploring, we stop adventuring, we stop touching the fire, and that is the death of growth. I want you to give yourself permission to be stupid. Seriously, go do that dumb thing you have been thinking about. Start that random business, go talk to that person, apply for that job you are not qualified for. Learn that skill that seems too hard. Most people are too scared to even try, so just by trying, you are already ahead. Now, I am not saying go blow your savings on a crazy scheme. Be smart about it. Take calculated risks. For me, that risk was cutting my spending way down. I got rid of my apartment and moved into a cheaper place with roommates. I sold my car and bought a beater. I stopped eating out. I stopped buying clothes I didn't need. I looked at every single dollar I spent and I asked myself, does this bring me closer to freedom or does it keep me stuck? And then I took that money I was saving and I invested it into learning. I bought some cheap courses and books. I put money into my side hustles. I built up an emergency fund so I had a cushion. That was my foundation. Once I had that, nothing else felt as scary. The point is, you have to change your environment. If you keep living the same way, you will keep thinking the same thoughts. You have to physically and mentally remove yourself from the old patterns. That might mean deleting social media for a while. That might mean spending less time with friends who are still stuck in the rat race. That might mean taking a different route to work or rearranging your room. Small things make a big difference. I disappeared for a while, not in a dramatic way, but I stopped posting online. I stopped going out as much. I just focused on building. I focused on my goals. I had a whiteboard in my room with my one big goal written on it. Get out of debt and build a life I don't need a vacation from. That was it. Simple. Every decision I made, I ran through that filter. Does this help me get out of debt? Does this help me build a better life? If the answer was no, I didn't do it. And you know what? It was boring. It was lonely sometimes. It was hard. But it was also the most exciting time of my life because I felt like I was finally in control. I was finally steering the ship instead of just being dragged along by the current. I think people overcomplicate this. You don't need a 10-year plan. You don't need a big vision board. You just need to know one thing. What do you not want? Once you know that, clearly movement becomes easy. You just walk in the opposite direction. If you are stuck in a job you hate, the direction is clear. Start learning a skill on the side. If you are in debt, the direction is clear. Cut your spending and pay it off. If you are out of shape, the direction is clear. Start moving your body. If you are lonely, the direction is clear. Go talk to people. It is not complicated. It is hard, but it is simple. The mistake most people make is they think they need to be ready. They think they need more information. They think they need the perfect plan. You don't. You just need to start. You will learn as you go. You will make mistakes. Those mistakes are your compass. They show you what doesn't work. And every time you eliminate a wrong path, you get closer to the right one. I look back at the Reed from 5 years ago and I barely recognize him. He was scared, he was insecure, he was broke, he was lost, but he did one thing right. He decided he was done being average. He decided he was done feeling trapped, and he took the first step, even though he had no idea where it was going to lead. That first step was just reading a book about personal finance. Then it was making a budget. Then it was having an honest conversation with himself about his spending. Then it was cutting up that credit card. Then it was starting to save just $50 a paycheck. Then it was learning about investing. Then it was starting a side hustle. Then it was failing and starting again, one step at a time. And that is what I want for you. I don't care if you are 18 or 28 or 48, you can change. You are not stuck. That feeling of being trapped is an illusion. It is a story you are telling yourself, and you can rewrite that story starting right now. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to save you. You are the only one who can do this. Get mad. Get clear. Get moving. Launch yourself into the unknown and trust that you can figure it out, because you can. You just have to start. Peace.